The research ship Explorer rocked gently on the vast Pacific Ocean, its deck glistening under the morning sun. Dr. James Walker stood silently, eyes fixed not on the shimmering waves, but deep beneath them. "Dr. Walker, you've got to see this." Mike's voice called urgently from below deck. James hurried down to the ship's lab, a futuristic space packed with computers and cutting-edge gear. At the center sat the QR-5000, their new quantum resonance scanner, a $1 million marvel, designed to peer beneath the ocean floor. Mike pointed to a screen flashing vibrant, strange patterns. "Look at this! I've never seen anything like it." James leaned in. The ocean floor, 2 miles beneath them, usually looked like jagged rock and sediment. But here, sharp lines, perfect angles, shapes too precise to be natural. "That can't be real," James whispered. "Nature doesn't make perfect squares." "Exactly," Mike said, zooming out to reveal the pattern wasn't just a spot. It stretched like a sprawling city beneath the waves. "We need a closer look," James decided. "Prepare the deep-sea drone." An hour later, the team watched, breathlessly as the drone dove into the abyss, piercing darkness with its lights. At 2,000 meters, the ocean gave way to something extraordinary. "Look at that," Lisa said, controlling the drone. "It's a massive structure. No, a ship, half buried in silt. Unlike any vessel humans had built, it was colossal, over 200 meters long and made of a strange blue-green material that glowed faintly. No rust, no decay, as if time had passed it by. "Take samples," James ordered. The drone's mechanical arm scraped a piece of hull. The material was light but stronger than steel, composed of elements unknown to science. Then came the carbon, dating results. 30,000 years old. Impossible. Human civilization barely scratched 10,000 years, and the earliest boats were simple canoes from 8,000 years ago. "This can't be right," James muttered, running the test again. The numbers didn't lie. Word spread fast. Skeptics accused them of errors or fraud, but soon similar ancient ships appeared across the Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic oceans. Then came the chilling revelation. The ships weren't scattered. They formed a perfect circle around the globe, a colossal web laid down by an intelligence far beyond humanity's understanding. "We're not alone," James told the world. "We never have been." That night, staring at the stars from the deck of the Explorer, James wondered, who were the architects of these ships? Were they still out there? And why had they hidden their legacy beneath the ocean's depths 30,000 years ago? Answers were coming, but the world was about to change forever. They were deliberately hidden. James looked up from the data, skeptical. "How do you know that?" Anna Reed, the engineer, didn't hesitate. "The way the ships are arranged, the depths at which they're buried, it's all too perfect. Someone put them there on purpose." "But why?" James asked. "To hide them from someone," Anna said quietly. "Or maybe to wait for something." The very next day, a breakthrough came. One of the military scientists discovered that when exposed to a certain sound frequency, the crystal, data storage units recovered from the ships lit up, projecting symbols into the air like glowing holograms. "It's like a message," James whispered, staring in awe at the floating symbols. "But we still can't read it." They needed a linguist, someone who could decode the alien language. Thomas Ford was the best, an expert in ancient human languages and cryptography, with a history of cracking previously unreadable codes. After a week staring at the symbols, Thomas finally broke the silence. "It's unlike anything I've seen," he said wearily, rubbing his eyes. "But there are patterns, similar to human language. Give me time. Time might be something they didn't have." Across the oceans, another ancient ship, the one in the Indian Ocean, had begun to move, stirring after 30,000 silent years. "It's waking up," Anna told James over the phone, her voice tense. "Maybe because of our scans, or the piece we removed." James felt a chill. What if it was programmed to activate at this specific time? What if whoever placed these ships planned this? Before he could respond, signals began pulsing from every ancient ship on the planet, sending glowing waves of light up through the oceans, toward the stars. Humanity was no longer just uncovering history. They were preparing for something far greater. First contact. Thomas hadn't slept in 3 days. His office was cluttered with pages covered in strange symbols, cold coffee cups, and glowing screens. When James entered, Thomas looked up with a tired but triumphant smile. "I've got it," Thomas said. "Well, the basics." James blinked. "You can read their language?" "It's not as alien as we thought," Thomas explained, pulling up images on his screen. "All languages follow patterns. This one is built on math, prime numbers, specifically. Once I saw that, the rest fell into place." He pointed to symbols on the screen. "This means star. This means ship. And this," Thomas said, hesitating slightly as he pointed to a complex symbol, "means human." James stared. The ancient builders had known about humans 30,000 years ago. "They called themselves the Guardians," Thomas said. Over the next few hours, Thomas explained what the translated records revealed. The Guardians were an advanced civilization traveling between stars. They came to Earth during the last ice age. They observed early humans, primitive but full of potential. They watched us hunt, make tools, paint on cave walls, Thomas said. But they worried. Worried because humans were aggressive, territorial, prone to violence over resources. "Did they leave because they wanted to?" James asked. Thomas shook his head. "No, they fled. Something worse was coming, a wave of darkness spreading across the galaxy." James's heart raced. "Why leave the ships here?" "They couldn't take everything," Thomas said. "So they hid their technology deep under the oceans, where primitive humans couldn't reach it. They planned to return when the danger passed, but they never did." Thomas's face grew serious. "And now, I think they're coming back. When we disturbed the first ship, we activated a beacon, a distress signal." James's phone rang. "James, you need to see this!" Anna's voice trembled. He switched on the TV. Every channel showed the same breaking news. A massive ship had appeared in Earth's orbit, an alien vessel identical in design to the ancient. "Ships underwater, but hundreds of times larger. It just appeared," Anna said. No warning. One moment, nothing, then a flash of light. And there it was. Panic swept the world. Military forces went on high alert. Reporters speculated about invasion or apocalypse, but James felt something else. A strange anticipation. After 30,000 years, the Guardians had returned. 3 days later, James, Thomas, Anna, and government representatives gathered at a secret military base. The alien ship had sent a message in multiple human languages they wanted to meet. A smaller craft descended and landed. James waited, heart pounding. What would the Guardians look like? Humanoid? Completely alien? The ship's door slid open with a whisper. Light flooded out, blinding the room. When James's eyes adjusted, he gasped. The being that stepped out was tall and slender, with pale blue skin and large, deep eyes. Its simple clothing shimmered and shifted colors with every movement. "We are the Guardians," it said in perfect English, voice calm and melodic. "We have returned as promised." The alien, who called itself Keeper, was shocked by human progress. "In our calculations, you should still be using stone tools and living in small settlements," Keeper said during a conference. "But you have built machines that think, walked on your moon." James smiled, but Keeper's next words wiped it away. "You must stop your excavations immediately." "Why?" the American president asked during a video call. "Your world is under quarantine," Keeper said. "You showed great potential, but also dangerous tendencies toward violence and destruction. The ships contain technology you are not ready for." James bristled. "Who are you to decide what we're ready for?" Keeper's deep eyes fixed on him. We have witnessed civilizations destroy themselves with power they could not control. The ships hold weapons capable of devastating, not just your world, but entire star systems. The room fell silent. But there is more, Keeper continued. The ships were also hidden to protect you. If our enemies knew of your existence, they would come and enslave your people, or worse. The wave of darkness from your records, James whispered. Keeper nodded. They call themselves the Harvesters. They consume worlds and living energy. We fought them for centuries before fleeing to the galaxy's edge. Are they still out there? Thomas asked. Yes, Keeper said simply. If the Harvesters detect energy from these ships, they will come here. That is why you must stop your excavations and return what you have found to the depths. Human leaders exchanged uncertain looks. Give up the greatest discovery in history? Return to ignorance? James stood. No, we won't stop learning. We won't hide from the truth. If the Harvesters threaten us, we must prepare, not bury our heads in the sand. Keeper's expression was unreadable. You speak bravely, it said, but you do not understand the danger. Then teach us, James said. Work with us. We survived ice ages, plagues, wars. We are stronger than you think. For a long moment, Keeper was silent. Then, almost a smile. Perhaps you have evolved further than we expected. 2 weeks later, at the United Nations in New York, a tense conference room filled with world leaders and alien representatives. Keeper sat at one end of the table, Captain Mark Stone of the International Space Coalition at the other. Earlier that day, Keeper had delivered an ultimatum.